Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Far Off Films. And as you can tell by this episode starting off with a recording, something probably went absolutely wrong, and, well, that's exactly what happened. Basically, the first half of this podcast episode is just gone. As you can notice by the shorter runtime than usual on this video, it just got scuffed. Thank God we didn't lose the conversation about the actual recommendation, but a lot of our talking about Triangle of Sadness is gone, and we are absolutely sorry for that. All of my audio for the first half was lost because South Africa has these fucking power outages, and I thought I had set up everything okay to record my audio if the power went out, and that setup just got a bit scuffed. So everything that I recorded before the power went out is all gone, and we decided to just cut all of it because trying to edit around Jules and Timmy, talking to pretty much no one, wasn't gonna be fun or nice. So this episode is gonna be a little scuffed. It's gonna start off straight from the end of the Triangle of Sadness discussion through to the questions. We're very sorry about that. But to make up for that, because Triangle of Sadness is one of my favorite films of the year, if not my favorite, we're going to talk about it in a little live stream that we're going to do on the 30th. I'll put the times in the description and stuff if anyone wants to join in, where we're just going to talk about some of the 2022 movies that we didn't have time to answer on the podcast, to talk about on the podcast, and maybe answer some questions, or I don't know. But yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. It's only so fitting that the episode that we plan to get out before Christmas is one of the most scuffed of them all. But anyways, I hope you still enjoy what we have of this episode, and yeah. Yeah, sorry for that brief interruption. South Africa is just shit, and I thought I had recording without power set up, and it's not set up. Timmy's just recording my audio now. But yes, anyways, as I was saying, yeah, so basically I was talking about like how at the end of Triangle of Sadness, it's the interaction between Abigail and Yaya, and Yaya being a rich person, we were talking about how they pretty much have had everything handed to them their whole lives, and they don't have to work much to gain anything. And her like surviving through this island, being them realizing that they've been trapped here just on a resort, is pretty much just another like thing just being handed to her on a silver platter. Like her survival is being graciously rewarded with a resort. Yeah. And then Abigail, that's I think like that drives home the feeling of her killing Yaya, is that yeah, she's worked for nothing this whole time. She's provided nothing, and now she just gets to go chill at a resort after doing nothing, after how Abigail has worked her whole life just to receive a small fraction of what Yaya has done. And then that's why that ending shot of Carl running through the grass, which is such an awesome shot, by the way, like holy shit, it was so cool. It kind of drives home the fact that like, oh shoot, something's up. And yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't know that this is also a resort too, right? Or
yeah, I know, he probably doesn't know.
Yeah, so that he'll probably meet the same fate.
Would he? Yeah. If he lived, would he be like half celebrating but like half mourning at the same time?
He probably
it really leaves it on an ambiguous level.
Yeah, he probably mourned the same way that that Russian guy was mourning, because like when his like wife came ashore, he was crying at first, but then he just slowly took off his jewelry, her jewelry, and I was like, dude, like come on, man, like really?
Dude, what the fuck? I get I get if you do that after like maybe like a week and you haven't been rescued. Like I get, collecting valuables, see what you can do. But instantly after it just shows that like money is the sole thing that they care about, even though they don't need it.
Yeah,
Like,
even on an island
yeah,
where it's fucking worthless. It's like, and to be fair, that's the
exactly.
only way they can
It's
communicate
the only
anyway.
thing
Yeah,
they
cause
have.
yeah,
Yeah.
cause their whole value, their whole like way of communicating and like getting what they want is like, oh, you want my Rolex? Here's my Rolex, or you want my diamond ring? Here's my diamond
Yeah.
ring, or whatever. Like that's the only
Yeah,
way these
that shot
people.
where they're like tapping where they're tapping the watches on the glass is like so funny, like trying to get Abigail to tap
Yeah.
Let me
in,
in.
like
Let me in.
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, let me sleep in
yeah,
there too. Yeah. Hmm. So yeah.
yeah. I was talking about like the little character send-offs that each character gets, and the Russian guy and the pirate also get their own little send-offs because they have that little scene where you actually find out that he is a pirate, which I think was just really funny.
That's hilarious.
Um, it's funny because like obviously he was like the Russian dude was being completely racist and just unfair at the beginning, but then you find out that he is actually a pirate, which still doesn't excuse the racism, but I think it's very funny. It's like it like kind of shows that like the lower end people of society have to work and pretend to be people that they aren't just to gain respect from someone who has such a sense of power. And it was just such a funny scene when he's like, "So if you were a pirate, how much money would you be earning?" And then the dude's like, "Oh, like this much," and it's like, yeah, that was just very funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
um,
hilarious. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's all this like really subtle commentary that like I wish
yeah,
something like The Menu had. Not to say that The Menu was a bad movie. It's a good movie for sure, but it's like this just does so much of a better job of like exploring these like
yeah. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah,
complicated like themes about like wealth, power, status, like so much better than The Menu did, you know? So and in ways that once that keeps you thinking because like I only saw this yesterday but sorry, I only saw this yesterday but I already want to watch it again. Like there is so much
yeah.
to process, there is so much to like really think about and like indulge, and it's like man, like I could see myself like really loving this like the more times I watched it because like I was gonna mention like
That's
the
what
only
happened to me.
yeah, because like the only like main issue I say I would have was like the first part was like kind of slow, if I'm being honest. Like I wasn't like super invested in like the
It flows a lot
relationship.
better the
Yeah,
second time. It
maybe in
flows
a
a lot better.
yeah. If
Everything flows a lot better on the
I
second time.
assume
Yeah.
because like once I realized like where this movie was going and like what direction it was heading, I can imagine myself like really enjoying that first part like even more. So, but yeah, I wasn't like
Yeah.
super invested in that first part, but whatever. So.
Yeah. Yeah, favorite movie of this year. I think it just excelled in all its categories, as well as like we were talking about it, as well as being this like great layered satire and humorous, like righteous, outlandish comedy. It also just succeeded in all its presentation, performances, every filmmaking aspect. And yeah, I really loved it. 10 out of 10.
Nice.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. There's a cockroach above me.
Oh, Jesus fuck.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. And I'm giving this one a 8 out of 10, but it definitely could be a 9 in a rewatch, but I think an 8 is fair. So, yeah.
It will be a 9 on a rewatch.
It probably will. Yeah, but I guess I'm just a hater or something. Yeah. So, yeah. Speaking of things, uh sorry, let me say that again. Speaking of rich people. We saw the opposite of that called Tokyo Godfathers, our recommendation. Um, so yeah, this was so we're doing
Well, your
Christmas.
recommendation.
Well, yeah, it's my recommendation, not ours. Yeah, you guys had no say in that one. If you, I mean, we could have
Yeah.
watched Jingle all the way too, for all I cared. So, yeah,
No.
thank God we
No.
didn't. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, this was my pick. This was my recommendation. We're doing Christmas themed movies, and I picked Tokyo Godfathers, the third film from Satoshi Kon. And basically, the premise is that there are three homeless people in, get this, Tokyo. I know, crazy. Who find a baby.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they go on like a wacky misadventure to find the owner of the baby and reunite her with their parents and stuff. And out of all the Satoshi Kon films, this one was not only the one I've never seen, but this is also the one I knew the least about. And in many ways, I was kind of surprised. I thoroughly enjoyed it a lot more than I should, like based on the premise, because it's just so much fun, and I really enjoyed myself. I really, really enjoyed this.
Yeah,
What did you guys think?
I really enjoyed it too.
Hmm.
I was
It
kind
was
of
a lot of
surprised.
fun. Yeah.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
think this is my favorite of Satoshi Kon's movies. I
really.
really had a fun time with this film. Not my favorite thing he's done, because Paranoia Agent is easily the best thing he's
But you
done.
like this more than
But
like Perfect Blue and like Millennium Actress and like Paprika
yeah,
and stuff? Really? Wow. Okay.
definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. It
Okay.
was just such a, and I'll explain it right now why I loved it more.
Sure, sure, yeah.
Um,
Well, let's get Lucas.
it,
Sorry, let's get Jules's thoughts first, and then yeah, you can
okay,
go
okay,
ahead.
yeah,
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I was just kind of surprised that it was. I was
yeah,
expecting something a little more like along the lines of like Perfect Blue, but
Yeah.
I was surprised at like kind of like grounded it was. Like
Yeah, it's such a sharp
I've
contrast.
only seen this in Perfect Blue, but would you say, Timmy, it's like of like the black sheep of his
Yeah,
films? Like
absolutely. Because the only thing I knew about this film was that um it's like I think even critics have mentioned like it's the black sheep of like Cohn's filmography, because like unlike his other films, this one doesn't like mesh reality and fantasy together. There's no like, whoa, crazy shit like
well,
surreal or whatever, you know. It's like
there
this is
is kind
a
of,
little bit, but like it's not like the defining trait of the film. Like for the most part, it plays it
yeah,
like pretty straight. Like the only times where it kind of indulges in like Cohn's like usual like shtick is when the biker homeless guy like finds like what at first was like his older version of himself, like a Christmas Carol type thing. And then like when the fucking baby talked, like those were the only times where I feel like the film like
yeah,
went back to like Cohn's like, oh, this is like a Cohn film because like it blends reality and fantasy. But for the most part, it plays it straight. It's for the most part a drama comedy type thing. And I think that's what I love about the film. It's like it could have easily just done the same thing that like Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress did, but like this one chose to take a more different route, and I kind of appreciate it more because of that, you know. So yeah.
I think even though it wasn't what I was expecting it to be, I think it still worked in its own way.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
okay, I can get on with this kind of like tone.
I feel like a story like this doesn't even need like the typical Cone directing style, you know? Like something like this doesn't really need something like that. Like I can't imagine like the way Perfect Blue was constructed, it would be appropriate for something like this, or Millennium Actress or
Yeah,
Paprika.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So, hmm so sorry, Luca, you were mentioning that this was your favorite of Cone's films, and I'm very curious as to why you think that.
yeah,
I'm very curious to hear. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. I think that because you guys were kind of touching on about it, but like, um, all of other Cone's films have like this element of like breaking reality and having like this fantastical elements that occur, and and this film kind of does that, but it, like you guys said, it's mostly in reality, but there is still a whole bunch of wild, wacky shit that happens.
Hmm.
And all of his other films have a whole lot of wild, wacky shit, but you can kind of excuse it because, you don't know what's like supposed to be real and what's not supposed to be real.
Yeah.
And there's kind of like this surreal element to it. But this film has to make excuses for why this like random fucking weird ass wacky stuff is happening. And I really love the way the narrative like makes these excuses of like all this just like like blood pumping action and like hilarious comedy is like intertwined within this within
Yeah.
this world. And like, yeah, I love how like the characters reunite and all these situations that they get into, and I found that really amusing, and I really love, and it really helped that the characters were also just so great to follow.
Yeah,
Like
they're
I
so
loved all
likable.
the
They're
characters.
so interesting.
They're
Yeah.
very likable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see where you're coming from. I think just for me, that kind of that's kind of why I don't think this is my favorite Cone film. I mean, not at all. I like Perfect
Hmm.
Blue and Millennium Actress a lot more than this one. I think with Perfect Blue, the way you're saying like, oh, they actually need to like write excuses as to like why it does like they do the things that like they do or whatever. But like, I don't know. I think there are just as valid like reasons and excuses for like those things happening in like Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress, because like,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm not
Oh
like
no, I'm not saying that. I'm not.
demoralizing
No,
them.
no, no. That's not what I'm
Yeah.
saying at all. Yeah, yeah. What I'm saying is like,
Oh, okay,
not only
okay.
are like there, I think there are just as valid excuses, but like, I think with Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress specifically, and I won't spoil anything for that film because Jules hasn't seen it, but like there are not only are there valid excuses, but like the way that they can like blend those like moments of reality and fantasy is just like that is what I like about Cone's
Yeah.
style of filmmaking, like the way it can like blend together and the way like you can't tell the difference between two. And like, and even though that's not really what this film is going for, I still felt that was kind of lacking in this one, where it's like, but I missed like that beautiful, unique approach to directing that he had in Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress, you
Yeah.
know? Like that's like I felt like it was missing in this one. Not to say it's not a good movie, by far it's really great, but
Yeah.
like it like this is the black sheep of the family for a reason, you know? So,
I
mhm.
think that's why I
Um,
love Paranoia Agent, because it kind of feels like a perfect blend between uh mind-bending Satoshi Kon and then Tokyo Godfathers
Yeah.
Satoshi Kon.
Mhm.
Because Paranoia Agent has a lot of surreal stuff, but a lot of it also is really grounded and set in
Yeah.
reality. Um,
I haven't seen
but I also
Paranoia
do
Agent,
really
yeah.
love the.
So, mhm.
Okay, you gotta get on
I know, I
that.
gotta get on that, yeah.
Yeah, but I do agree. I do also love his mind-bending, trippy stuff that he does. But I think this film just worked a lot better for me,
Mhm.
and I just liked it. It also helps that there's a trans character. I
Yeah,
think
no,
that
a great
I think that
representation.
really helped.
and you can
Yeah.
imagine like in a movie like this, especially if it
That was
wasn't an
great.
anime where it's like they just make fun of that character the whole time. It's like, haha, the joke is that she's trans or whatever, you know, like that's the joke the whole time. Like
Yeah.
the film is like, and this came out like what, like 2004 or something? Like it's surprisingly respectful to like say like, you know,
I
like
mean, they do.
Very
The
progressive.
characters do make fun of them, but it is done in a way that like it makes sense.
yeah, it's like
Like,
it's like it's not
yeah,
like they're not making fun to like to be
Not
tasteless.
disrespectful.
Like there's like
yeah,
a
it's
that's
like
like what the characters
jokey.
would do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
And
It's
I
funny that like
oh sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
it, yeah, it's just funny because like this character, like they specifically like say that they're trans. But Japanese doesn't have a word for being trans,
Yeah.
so they still just
Yeah.
incorrectly gender the character. Like that's something you just see in all of like anime and stuff. Like that's
Yeah.
something you'll see commonly.
And
Um,
and
so yeah,
yeah, and this is the thing. It's like and I should have mentioned this when we were talking about Perfect Blue, but I guess I'll just mention it now. I love how all the characters are designed. It's not like because when you think of
yeah,
like anime, you think of a very specific way that characters are designed and the way that characters look. Like it's very like I don't want to say hypersexualized, but like very like exaggerative in terms of like
it
beauty
is
and
that
like
though.
physical appearance. Yeah, kind of. And like even in some animes where they essentially have trans characters, they essentially just make them like very sexy looking like men or something like that. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
if you're interested to like for examples, like I think like there's an anime called Chivalry of a Failed Knight, I think it's called, where they have a trans
Oh
character
my.
in the show, or at least like super gay. I'm not entirely sure. It's been like years since I've seen it, but it's like that's the sort of like their attempt at like, oh, this is a gay person or this is a trans person or whatever. But in this one, like, and just Cone's filmography in general, like he doesn't like exaggerate what people look like. Like they very much look like
Yeah.
random people that you could find on the streets in Japan. Like Perfect Blue
Yeah.
and this film, like it's like we're not gonna like hypersexualize or hyper exaggerate like the physical appearance of these characters. Like these are real people that could that normal
Yeah.
people like would look like in this setting. And that's what I love, because like yeah, like the film gets into its like anime-isms, I guess if you want to call it, where it's like the characters like over
Yeah.
exaggerate their movements and their facial movements, especially like during that hospital scene where like the biker homeless guy like runs into his daughter, and the trans character is like, you know, you're a fucking loser. It's like you lied about like you know this and that and all this other stuff, and it's like it's exaggerative for sure, but it like it doesn't like it's still like very appropriate and very like accurate to like what a Japanese person looks and acts like in that setting. Well, at least I'm assuming, like, because like Cone doesn't like add fluff to his characters designs. He doesn't like fake like what they look like. They could look like real people, like if you compare them to like real life Japanese people. And that's what I love about the character design so much, you know? So,
There's very much a distinct style in his animation.
mhm. Yeah.
And that's what I really like about it. Like something I really dislike about anime is just how the style just blends together in so many different things. But the Satoshi Kon style has always been something that has stood out,
Mhm.
like in terms of anime.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's
yeah,
no like kind of weird like sexualization of the characters. Like the only time that's happened that I've seen, honestly, was the weird like fake not fake rape scene in Perfect Blue, where she's meant to be like posing for the camera.
Yeah, but that's like appropriate
that's the
for like the
point.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, but that
Mm.
that's meant to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, like in any other anime, they'd be like hee hee titties, you know, that sort of thing, you know. But I mean, but at the same time,
Yeah,
you're talking to a weeb. Like there's charm and there's appeal to that, you know. But I can admit like things like that in most anime, it's just like the most excessive like bullshit thing ever. And that's why like I'll always appreciate Kone's approach to anime. It's like it's not only unique, it's like very grounded. It's very specific, you know. So, um, yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, I loved all the characters in this. I was surprised that I didn't
Um,
hate a single one, because like in like buddy road trip movies like this, there's always that one character that just pisses me the fuck off, but there were surprisingly none of those, you know? Like the baby crying kind of got annoying at times, but like I really liked all the characters. And this is what I found the most interesting, was that like when we think of like homeless people, you know, the general consensus is that, oh, they're lazy, they're like good for nothing, like losers. They're just begging for money or for change or for food or whatever. But like when you get into their backstories, they're not lazy. They're not like it's not like they can't work. They used to have lives. They used to have like
yeah,
normal jobs or normal homes or normal loved ones or whatever, but like something tragic happened in their lives that like led them to this moment. It's not like they just like said, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to be a homeless person. Like something like traumatic happened in their lives and they feel like they can't recover from that. They feel like they can't move on from that moment, you know? And like that's why they're in this situation right now, because they feel like in their heart they deserve where they're at right now. And I thought that was really, really powerful. And it's especially more powerful near the second half of the film, where like the characters kind of have to confront like their past demons and stuff like that. It was so, so good. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
lots of like dark, mature themes. I mean, I know it is like a Toshi Kon, but like, yeah,
Yeah,
Like
and
a
it's a
half
comedy
comedy,
technically,
like,
and
yeah,
it's like so many deep
like a half
moments.
comedy, kind of dark, dark and deep at times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How did you guys feel about all the twists and turns and stuff like that? Because I was not expecting like the last like 20 minutes
I
of the
love
movie.
them.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like when they like are dangling over the building. When the film really hooked me was like when they stumbled into like the dance party like thing, and then like one of like the workers like shot was like planning to shoot someone, and then they shot like one of the waiters, and oh no, not one of the waiters.
it's
They shot
wild.
like the yeah, it just they shot like that like one like rich snarky looking dude, and like it from that point everything just went off the rails, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, but
like
I feel like
essentially turned into like a wild goose chase.
yeah,
Like
but even before
yeah,
then, like the craziness was like perfectly set up. Like the reason why they got into that party was because the mafia boss like got
they
stuck under his
rescued
car. Like what the fuck?
yeah yeah, it was just so it's like it reminded me of like the trash king in Under the Silver Lake.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
these homeless people are just going on like these wild ass journeys, like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like honestly, that's I'm so happy for them.
Awesome, yeah.
Like
Yeah, they
yeah,
deserve all the happiness in the world. And like based
yeah,
on how the movie ended, I was really hoping like the film was like an extra 20 minutes long. It's like, oh man, like that would have been so nice to like because like every character I feel like got their reconciliation except like the girl character, the youngest one. Because like it would have been nice to see her reconcile with her father, but whatever. It was still a good ending, but oh man, but
yeah,
when the Spanish assassin like kidnaps her and he's speaking in
yeah,
Spanish and she's like, okay, whatever, just like please don't kill me sort of thing. It was so funny.
yeah,
And then to just see them bond, like hit like the Spanish guy's like wife or sister or something like that, or mom, I don't know, one of those things. It's like she's trying to
Yeah,
speak in Spanish
yeah.
and she's like and then and the only way they can communicate is through like broken English. It was so funny, but it was also so heartwarming at the same
yeah,
time. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, he really knows how to balance like the comedic moments with like the really kind of dark moments.
Hmm.
There's never I don't think there was anything that like felt out of place.
Yeah, I can imagine someone not liking Perfect Blue but liking this one because like Perfect Blue is definitely very dour and depressing, and
Yeah.
this one does balances out comedy and drama like way more than Perfect Blue does. Um, I mean, I like Perfect Blue more than this, but yeah, it's such a sweet movie. I think like that's just the best way to describe
yeah.
it. Yeah, it's very sweet. It's like there's comedy and there's drama, but in the
It's
end, it's like
wholesome.
it's wholesome. Yeah, it's a Christmas movie. Yeah, it's like it's Christmas.
It's a
It's
Christmas movie.
yeah, like
Everything
just
is alright.
It took place on Christmas for like the first 10 minutes of the movie, and then
that's
it wasn't Christmas anymore.
I think
Yeah.
one of them said it's like Happy New Year or something like that. I was like, "Oh shit,
Yeah,
that's how
it
much
was like
time passed?" Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. But like it kind of does give like that charm of like being like a sweet like family like Christmas adventure movie, except with that like flair of Satoshi Kon in it as well. Like and yeah, I think that I yeah, I don't know where I'm going, but I think there's definitely a point to like it being set during Christmas and like having this kind of like more friendly vibe than a lot of his other films, like
Hmm.
set during a time frame where everyone is supposed to be happy and stuff. Like even like the trans character like says a couple of times like it's Christmas, it's supposed to be the happiest day of all and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And yeah, so Sakonshi Satoshi Kon is definitely doing
Satonji. Yeah.
is definitely doing a lot with like the during the time frame it's set, especially with the scenery and the setting as well. Like like there's like it's like a nice snowy Tokyo and kind of comments on like 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 the poor conditions homeless people have to face like during these times.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it does have a lot of genuine themes while also being this just fun and delightful little adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, I think in the hands
I
of a
think I could
different
easily watch
director.
this again.
Yeah, I could watch this a million times. Yeah, I think in the hands of a different director,
yeah,
this could have been fucked. Like, it could have been just boring or cliche or generic or whatever. But like,
And
yeah, and Cone really knows how to make something like this stand out. It's like the characters are likable and like the adventure itself is wacky, but like there's more than just ooh crazy shit, like happening going on. Like there's actual drama, there's actual like motivation and like character development that goes on as they like go on this character journey. And what I've found really interesting is just how they're treated because that they're homeless. I mean, like there's always a stigma against homeless people, like obviously, but like
yeah,
during those like small moments where like they're on like the subway or they're in like the convenience store where like people are like plugging their noses because they like smell or whatever and they're like oh disgusting like homeless person or
yeah,
whatever. It's just like the the discrimination against people who honestly don't deserve it, especially these people, because it's like they didn't want to be homeless. They just feel like they deserve this fate because they feel like they made really big fuck up mistakes in their life. It's like these are real people in the end. And I think like that like what makes the ending really like wholesome as well,
yeah.
where
'Cause it
the
all
the
it all wraps around into like saying that like even though they are homeless, even though they are supposed to be the degenerates of society,
they're still
they
people.
are still
still
people,
Yeah.
people.
and they
Hmm.
still are able to uh, like um fuck, how do I phrase this? They still have the capability of like doing heroic acts and helping people even with nothing.
Hmm.
And I really loved the bit where like the mafia dude like he brings the homeless people in, and then he's like, these people are responsible for saving my life, and then
Yeah.
like some other dude's like, but they're homeless, and then he's like, I
Yeah.
don't care, I don't care, they saved my life and
Mhm.
stuff, and like
Yeah, that's what happened at
yeah,
the end, where it's like,
yeah,
the
at
police
the end
detective
too,
is
yeah,
like, technically these people saved your life, but they are homeless, and they were like, what? Who gives a shit? Like they saved our kid's
yeah,
life and stuff like that, and like they were gonna name them their
yeah,
Godfathers, Tokyo Godfathers, and that was like, ugh.
yeah,
Like
exactly,
I'm so glad that we decided to watch Triangle of Sadness as well because like watching this and then watching
They're
Triangle of
priceless.
Sadness is like such a like a really like surprising like double features sort of thing. It's like they surprisingly go hand in
we
hand
always
very
do
well.
that.
Yeah, even when we didn't
We
realize.
always unintentionally like pick two films, or well, we watch a new film that kind of has like similar themes in ways to the older film we recommend, like unintentionally.
Yeah, that's why Black Adam and Southland Tales go hand in hand.
And that we did that with like Blonde and Perfect Blue as well, and
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
that wasn't
yeah.
intentional either. Yeah, this just tends to
Yeah,
happen.
that wasn't intentional. Yeah.
Hmm.
But I like it. It kind of sets a mood for the episode.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So Luca, I wanted to ask, if this is your favorite
Yeah.
Satoshi Kon film, what is your least favorite? If I'm just curious.
Oof. Well, all of them are great is the thing.
Hmm.
But I just think I
Why have you
even
come up
made
with
a
a list?
let me go check. Let me go check. I
Okay.
I
Yeah.
literally made
Yeah.
a ranked list like
Hmm.
the other day.
Yeah.
What one should I see next?
Well, I'm gonna be
To remember.
recommending the
Paranoia
rest.
Agent.
Well, no, watch Millennium Actress next. I highly recommend.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I'm gonna recommend the rest of Cone's filmography at some point anyway, so you're gonna be seeing the rest of his movies one way or another. Um,
Alright, cool.
but
I
I
would probably actually have to say Millennium Actress.
really okay.
I connected to it with it the least,
Okay.
and yeah,
I
but
mentioned
it
in
was
my
still it was still good.
I mentioned
It
in my
was still
review
good.
it's Satoshi Kon's Synecdoche, New York. I really really loved it. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I just think it was. I think that one was a bit too smart for me. I think that
Okay.
one I was kind of like, I need to rewatch to fully understand it, because
Hmm.
I do like a lot of his films, and I am able to. I'm normally like really good at piecing together what happens in films and stuff, but that one was kind of like, what's going on?
Sorry, that
For
was
me at
for
least.
was
But
for
yeah,
like I guess I better recommend Millennium Actress like sooner rather than later then. So,
yeah, you could totally do it. I don't know when I last saw it was, but yeah,
and then like Paprika, of course, but like that one will probably be in the back burner for a while. So, hmm I don't want to
yeah, Paprika's really good.
I don't want to
Yeah.
spooge Satoshi Kon over so quickly. I also wanted to mention one more thing, unless anyone else had anything to say. So, as you may know, Satoshi Kon is no longer with us. He's dead. But
Yeah.
apparently, his next film after Paprika, and I think it's a bit depressing for you, Luca, because you liked Tokyo Godfather so much. Apparently, his next film after Paprika would have been like a return to a Tokyo Godfather-esque like tone and story structure, because
Uh,
his next hit, what was supposed to be his next film, Dreaming Machine, was essentially just Tokyo Godfathers, but like kind of for kids, and like instead of homeless people, they're robots. Because like the premise of
Oh,
what
oh,
Dreaming Machine would have been was that like, oh, it's like a wacky like road trip adventure featuring like three robots, and apparently there are no human characters, they're all robots, so it's like a robot road trip adventure in the same vein as like Tokyo Godfather. I've even seen like clips or like podcasts or like news or like articles where it's been like Dreaming of Machine is basically Tokyo Godfathers 2 or something like that. And it really sucks that that film never came to be, because like I would have loved to see,
yeah, that could have been really fun.
yeah, more of like a Tokyo
yeah.
Godfathers like type movie from Cone, at least another one, because he hasn't really made a movie like this again, because Paprika, he kind of goes back to like the perfect blue Millennium Actress like type, like, oh, what's real and what's fantasy sort of thing. So, but I figured I'd just put that out there. So, mhm.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any issues with the film? I for the most part, except for like a lot of nitpicky stuff, I didn't have like any major issues or major complaints with the film for me. So,
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I like the film, but it's just I didn't connect to it as much as I did with like Perfect Blue. Like,
that's fair.
didn't have that like, and this is something else factor for me.
hmm Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes
even
sense.
though I give this the same rating as like a lot of the ratings that I give his other films, those other ratings is more like appreciating what he has done and appreciating the filmmaking aspects, even though I didn't really connect with. This is one where I actually connected with it and I thought it was a lot of fun. But there were, like you said, there were still some anime-isms that got a bit annoying and
hmm
so a bit of wacky looking animation at points.
Yeah,
And
did you guys
and I
notice?
and I wasn't
Sorry, go ahead,
and
finish
I
your thought.
wasn't that into the beginning. But it did eventually become something that I did really enjoy and maybe even loved. But
hmm
yeah.
Yeah, speaking of bad animation, did you guys notice like the opening where like during the choir section, the the mouth movements of like the choir singers was
Yeah.
like really weird? I was like,
Oh yeah,
I,
yeah.
I
I
was
thought
like, is there something wrong with my computer? Is my
yes,
computer
same.
fucked? Yeah. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
the
no,
only bit of
that was
anime.
one of the notable
Thought I'd
ones.
accidentally like put on the dub or something.
Yeah, that would have been genuine terrifying horror. Yeah, thankfully the film doesn't get as bad as that, but like, oh, that opening
Yeah, that
choir
was
was
just
like bad.
I was like, this, yeah.
Apparently this was
There's a few
the
moments that are like that,
Mhm.
again, that are sprinkled throughout it, which sucks,
Apparently
but
this
yeah.
film has like the lowest budget out of any of Cone's films, which is surprising because like this is apparently the first like Satoshi Kon movie that was like digitally animated. I mean, it's still like 2D and stuff, but like they use like digital like computers and like techniques and stuff to like make the animation, compared to like Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress where they hand drew everything and stuff like that. And at times I couldn't really tell. It was just really good. And at times
Mhm.
like the animation is enhanced because of the digital like software, because that like final bike chase where like the crazy lady is like takes over like the garbage truck, and then like the biker guy like has to like ride the bike to like catch up with her and stuff like that. Like the way that chase is
No.
sequence is like really cool. I really love that. Yeah. So
It's cool, but it was distracting that the truck was like CG.
that's fair, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
Like
really have a
like
problem with it.
when 2D animation uses CG, it's like really distracting, and
Oh,
for some reason it's
absolutely.
even more distracting in anime. Like, yeah,
I think it's gotten
yeah,
better since then. I still don't think it's perfect because because Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer had those moments where it's like they integrated 3D and it was just so jarring. Demon Slayer in particular
yeah,
was just like really jarring and distracting. But I think we've gotten to the point where it's like they're more seamlessly integrated. Like I don't know if you guys have been watching Chainsaw Man. Well, like Chainsaw Man has managed to integrate both 2D and 3D animation pretty well, in my opinion. But I don't know. But enough about anime. Yeah, Tokyo
yeah.
Godfathers. I really enjoyed it overall. Does anyone else have anything else they want to say? I'm pretty much done talking about this. So probably one of the best Christmas movies ever, if I'm being honest. At least.
Yeah,
It's not as
probably.
good as what I've got planned.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh my
if you say
god.
so. Yeah. I mean,
Well, we
because
better get to these questions so we can hear what Jules has planned.
yeah, that's
So,
fair. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, and I'm giving this one an 8 out of 10. I really loved it. I don't love this as much as his other films, but I really, really loved this. Yeah, it's very sweet and wholesome.
I'll give this a 7 out of 10, but it's closer to an 8 than a 6, and it could. Looking forward to rewatching it. Yeah, I just didn't connect with it as much as I did with Perfect Blue, but I think it's still clearly a very solid entry for this director.
You could watch it on Christmas and then
yeah.
give it like an 8 then. So,
Yeah, maybe I will.
hmm
Yeah, fun little adventure, has its issues, but still managed to crawl its way to being my favorite film of Satoshi Kon, and I give it a 7 too.
you're just a
Yeah.
hater.
Well, maybe it'll go up, but
Nah, I'm kidding.
yeah, I think.
I don't care. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give it a 6 then.
Okay. All right. Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, let's do questions. So yeah, if you wanna ask us questions, just comment below on the episode, and we'll answer them in the next million years or so. I don't fucking know. So, um, but yeah, that's the best way you can ask us questions by leaving a comment or um, DMing us, whatever. We leave all our socials. So yeah. So the first question, I only have like three. Well, technically four. Well, you'll see. Um,
That's fine.
yeah, so the first question comes from Pawn, who says, what are the hopes you have for the future, and how do you believe things will turn out for you and those you know? So, very deep, thinky
Oh
question.
my god.
You want to go first? I have to think about this one. Um,
I don't think Jules heard the
I was gonna say,
question,
Jules,
so
did you hear the question? Do you want me to say it again, or?
You can you just repeat that?
Yeah, so this one was from Pawn. What are the hopes you have for the future, and how do you believe things will turn out for you and those you know? So,
Hmm.
very deep thinky. Um, I don't fucking know.
I just hope it all goes well.
Yeah, exactly.
Hope
Yeah.
for
Mm-hmm.
the best,
I hope like I
you
hope the
know.
planet doesn't blow
I
up.
mean, yeah.
I hope democracy doesn't
I hope
crumble.
the planet does blow up. I hope I get to live my life and die, and then the planet blows up because I don't know. I don't want people to fuck over this planet.
I
I
mean,
want
people have been fucking
Yeah.
either
over
a
this planet
giant.
for generations. So,
I know, but like it's already it's at a point like if if I just if all people could just disappear and nature could take over again, I might be
I would.
willing to take
Yeah,
that
I'd be for
sacrifice
like The Last of Us.
because like
it. Yeah.
well, if I had to click a button and all people would disappear, including myself, then I might be weird and sick and do it
Oh, so
because
you'd
like
Thanos snap
Yeah.
you know
yourself too?
we've had our share. We've had our share, you know. We've fucked up this planet for too long.
Yeah,
Like,
we've had our
like
fun. Yeah.
let nature or maybe not an erase all button, because that's kind of fucked up. Maybe just like a chill pill. Maybe just a pause, you know? Maybe from now, no more humans need to be on this planet anymore. Maybe just a pause on giving birth for a few
we can do
years, you
Children of
know?
Men.
Hmm.
Yeah, we could.
Or we could just,
Yeah, we could do Children of Men.
or we can
Yeah,
just pull a snow,
except not break out into war.
or just, we could pull a Snowpiercer and like try to cool down the planet, except, not turn the planet into a fucking freezing hellscape, So,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I
like
mean, yeah.
genuinely, like yeah, I just hope future goes well. Hope I can live in a nice house with my partner and just chill and have a nice life. And I hope everyone around me succeeds, and I hope that I'm able to succeed. And yeah, uh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'm a nihilist at heart. I think life is a fucking joke and shit. Um, not to bring the party down or
Mr.
anything.
Edgelord over
Yeah, I
here.
know I'm a real
Wow.
edgelord. I just think that, when I get asked, "Do you have any hopes for the future?" and I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, the life is full
Well,
of
I hope to make a
disappointments.
film. I hope to do, you know, you can have hope, because like even if it is all pointless, I don't know if I've said this on the podcast already, but
Hmm.
even if it is all pointless, like you might as well just make the most of it
Exactly,
while
exactly.
you've got it, you
That's why I
know?
consider
Like,
Yeah.
myself like a nihilist, where it's like life is just kind of bullshit. It's like there's no, I don't think there's no greater purpose or meaning. Like when we get movies like fucking Prometheus or whatever Ridley Scott sci-fi movie where it's like, what's the meaning of life? What is the purpose of our being? It's like, who gives a shit? Like, even if there is, it's like clearly our purpose has like long changed since, since the primal days. Um, that Gendy Tarkovsky somehow recorded history. Um, but I just think that you should just, because there's no purpose or meaning in life, you should just kind of make the most of it. You can kind of decide your own purpose. You can kind of decide whatever the fuck you
yeah,
want to do.
exactly.
So, like, when I ask, are there
Yeah.
any hopes for the future? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, I mean, yes, I am hopeful for some things. I would very much like some things that I want to happen, but at the same time, life is unpredictable. Like, it's going to throw you curveballs. It's like you just don't know what's going to happen. So the best you can do is just kind of take it day by day and just see where things go from there, Like, I don't I'm currently a working
Well, I
stiff
think it's
technically. I work a 9 to 5 job and then I do this podcast and then I do my channel. But who knows, maybe that might change at some point. Maybe I'll do something drastically different. Maybe I'll, win the lottery or something. I don't know. Who knows? So,
it's important to have a bit of hope. Like, it's important to set yourself goals and like want to achieve things, because else you're gonna have no motivation to do anything. So
mhm.
it's important to even if you are a nihilist, it's important to still try to look at it positively, because
Oh, yeah.
there's no point in living a negative life if it if it's not gonna go
I
anywhere, you
feel
know?
like
So
a nihilist perspective is probably, in its own way, the most positive perspective, Like, yeah, life has no meaning, it
yeah,
has no
in a
purpose,
way.
so, like, make the most of it? So, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think you should never ever waste any time in your life. Like, day wasted, like that's gone forever. Like,
I think if
life is
you
too
want to
short for
waste
that.
a day, fucking do it, you know?
Yeah,
Like
you only got so
it's
many
your
days you
life.
can waste.
You
Yeah, and
gotta you gotta chill. Like
I
you
feel like
gotta
what
yeah.
defines as wasting a day is, like, so, like, vague too. Like, if I decided to just
Yeah,
play Red Dead Redemption 2 for an entire day, and
That's
that's what
not
I
a
did
waste
when
of
I
a
got
day.
the game. I played Red Dead Redemption 2 for a whole day. Some might say, "Oh, you're wasting your life playing video games." I don't know. I've been dying to play Red
No,
Dead
no,
2.
no, no,
That's
no.
not a waste of fucking time at all. Yeah. If anything, it's a great use of my time. So, yeah.
yeah.
You just have to be. You just have to be happy
Hmm.
in whatever you do,
That's why when
and
GTA 6 comes out,
it,
I'm gonna take an entire weekend to just play the game and I'll tell everyone to fuck off. So,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, hmm yeah. So,
All
My hopes
right.
for the future is that I get to live in a quiet rural house and create films, and hopefully this podcast gets to episode 1,000.
1,000.
I don't think we'll be alive by episode
Bruh.
1,000. Yeah, so
I'm saying it right now. There's
We're gonna
no
get to at
fucking
least
way I'm
300.
committing
That's
to 1,000. 300. Jesus.
yeah.
300 is
Okay,
like
300. I'm stopping. 300. I'm fucking done.
No.
We would have talked about all the movies by then. No, I'm just kidding.
we could watch the movie 300 on episode 300.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean it's a Zack Snyder movie, and I'd fucking hate that, but we got to do it. We got to do it for the meme. So
Well, it's my favorite Zack Snyder films though.
I don't think I like Zack Snyder enough to say what my favorite is. So they all fucking suck.
Owl movie.
Oh yeah, that one good movie, I guess. So
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
yeah,
Don't let
Be
negativity
hopeful.
control you. Yeah.
and go to therapy. I don't know. So
Live
anyway,
in philosophical happiness.
yeah. On that note,
Be hopeful, but also don't like pretend that the bad things aren't there.
Yeah.
Because they are. But those are things you're just gonna have to face head on.
I say this
Yeah,
a lot,
exactly.
I do whatever you want. I'm not your mom. I'm not going to tell you what to do, so just do it, like if
Yeah.
you want to buy
Whoa. With limitation, okay? Don't go kill people and abuse animals.
yeah, so remember
Johnny's
that
like, I don't care.
yeah. Remember that movie?
Man.
Remember that movie? Remember in Zootopia that Shakira song "Try Everything" or whatever? It's like, it's like that's the words I live by. So yeah, try doing meth. Try doing all the drugs.
Healing that.
Try
Yeah.
everything. Try every criminal activity ever. Yeah, sure. I'm just living by Shakira's words. I'm just doing what she told me. So in this fucking furry children's film. So
That's the message of the film, right?
yeah, exactly. So yeah, how do you feel uh Luca, about Shakira's South Africa song or whatever for the 2010 South Africa World Cup?
Oh, I actually love that song.
Oh,
It's a
really?
great song.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just figured I asked
No,
because
it's
the
a
World
good
Cup is
song.
happening. Yeah. Zootopia is a good film.
When I get older, I
Love
will be
Zootopia.
stronger. Yeah, no, I do like that song. It's that song, right? No.
This is
Oh,
for
shit.
Africa or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, no, I was thinking of a different song. Holy shit. Okay, there's one South African song, World Cup song. I don't know what it's called. Oh, it's called Waving Flag. That song's actually really good. The
Oh, okay.
Shakira one's also kind of good, but it's not as great as the other one. The
Okay.
Shakira one's like good, but the other World Cup South African song is great. Yeah.
I've never heard of it. Yeah, I should probably take a listen.
I think it's a South African song, that's why. Yeah.
Did South Africa even play in the South Africa World Cup?
Yeah, they did. They came like 50th or something.
I just asked that because they're not in this one.
I know.
I don't think they were in.
So
I mean,
embarrassing.
did Qatar get in? No.
No, because fuck
They did.
them.
They were
Oh,
in
they
like
did?
the early.
Oh,
phases,
yeah.
I'm
They
pretty sure.
did. They did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't keep up with boring sports.
Oh man, I love it. I love the World Cup.
That's wasting your day.
The World Cup is like the only one that I'm kind of interested in. I don't
so
care
much
about
fun.
anything else.
It's so exciting. Yeah,
I
'cause
just
here's
like geography. So I
Mhm.
like knowing which country's doing good. I don't really care about the soccer aspect. I just like analyzing which countries are winning and stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing, because it's like
Yeah.
I don't care about like soccer teams and stuff like that. I don't care about like, brands, and like I don't care about stuff like Manchester or anything like that. But the World Cup is so
Yeah.
exciting, Like I love that shit. So yeah, the same way like
you guys should look at Australian football. I never realized like how like brutal it was until like some YouTuber made a video reacting to it, and I was like, damn, I never realized like how brutal this is. I just thought this was normal.
I'll check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, look up Australian football brutal moments.
So anyway, yeah, the live life do what Shakira said. So that's what I say. Yeah.
Yeah, damn, next question. We spent a while on that one.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had to think that deep and philosophically since college, so thank you for warming my brain there a little bit.
Fun.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, this next one, so this is a two-parter from Matthias. So the first part is, and I'll say the first part first, and then because he wanted me to ask the first part, get our answers, and then ask the second one. So the first one is,
Okay.
who is your one favorite cartoon character? So like, which cartoon character do you love that? Actually, no. Yeah, I'll just say
Oh,
that. Who's your one
Oh,
favorite cartoon
I know what the
character?
second part's gonna be.
Well,
holy
we'll
fuck.
get to there. Yeah.
That's so difficult.
I don't know.
Wallace and Gromit count as a cartoon character?
Yeah, that counts. Yeah.
Then yeah.
Well, which one would you want to be, Wallace or Gromit?
Gromit.
Which one's
Oh, okay.
your
Yeah,
favorite?
I
Okay.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't hear you. Yeah, so, yeah.
Brian Griffin.
Peter Griffin. Peter.
Peter.
Yeah. Goose go.
When I think cartoons, though, I think like series and like animated. I don't really think of films.
I
So with that logic, I would probably have to pick, honestly, Mr. Monarch or Dr. Monarch from the Venture Brothers.
I don't know what the fuck that is. I have to look that up.
Well, the Venture Brothers is an awesome cartoon. You guys will actually love it. It starts off
Oh
like
shit! No, no,
as
no.
a
I've heard of
parody
this. Yeah,
of
yeah. Mhm.
yeah, it starts off of as like a parody of like
Johnny Quest.
um Johnny Quest like type stuff like, and then eventually it just turns into a parody of superheroes and is just such a fun like cartoon. It was being a parody of superheroes like
Before it was
like
cool.
before yeah, before it was cool. And it's just really awesome. I
You
love
could
the
argue
show.
that this
But
falls in this. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, no, I was done. So
I was gonna say you could argue this is like the same sort of path that like Rick and Morty like kind of went through, because Rick and Morty started out as like a parody of like Back to the Future,
yeah,
but then it just kind of became its own thing.
no, Timmy, you're right. This show is Rick and Morty before Rick and Morty existed.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've
This show's
always
from like the 2000s and it's still, well, it got cancelled, but there's a movie coming out soon. So
I've always
yeah.
heard about this show. I've always wanted to watch it. I just never got the time to see it. Yeah.
do it. Do it
Yeah.
instead of watching an anime. It's awesome.
Dude, but all I watch is anime. You don't understand.
Well, technically,
just treat this
is
like
it
an anime.
all animation is anime, is it not?
I mean, in Japan, yeah, technically, yeah, all animation
Yeah,
is
if
anime.
you watch it in Japan, then it's anime.
Yeah, so if you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender in Japan, that you're technically watching anime, no matter what the haters will say. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know who my favorite cartoon character is, because I see a lot of cartoons. Like, I love animation. I love anime. I love Western
Yeah.
animation. I see a lot of cartoons. So, like, this is a tough question. I don't know how to answer this one. I, yeah, I don't know. Because a lot of the anime character, because like my first thought went to anime for this one, but a lot of the anime characters that I'm thinking of, like, I would never like. I don't know. Like, would I say is my? Because like I love Spike
Try
Spiegel.
limit it like I did,
Yeah.
because when you say cartoon, like when someone says cartoon, they probably are associating it with like American animated like television. That's what I assume
Oh,
when someone
okay.
says cartoon.
Let's do that then. So I'll just stick to traditional Western,
Yeah.
because in that case, that makes my answer
Yeah.
easier. Because I actually have an answer for this one, and I think it's Chowder.
Okay,
From
cool.
Chowder.
There we go.
Have you
Easy.
guys seen Chowder?
Yeah. Yeah, Chowder's. I used to watch it when I was a kid.
I love that
Yeah.
show. I remember in college, we were just like so drunk, and I was like, it was like 1 a.m. and it's like, dude, do you want to watch Chowder? And he was like, he's never seen the show. It's like, what the fuck is that? And it's like, oh my god, it's just as funny as I remember it being. Like, I don't know how it's possible for a 2008 cartoon show to be just as funny as I remember it, but it just is. Like, we started on the Burple Nurples episode, and I could forbid like quote everything that they said. It's like purple nerdballs, like purple nerdballs. It's like, oh, like, do you have any? Would you give
Jules
any?
know what we're talking about?
Yeah, Jules, do you know what the fuck I'm talking about?
no.
No. Okay.
Is chowder a food?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like
Yes.
in Chowder, it's a show technically about cooking because the premise of Chowder is that like Chowder is like this young like apprentice for this like chef called Mung Dal. Like in this universe, every kid has to be an apprentice for something. So like there are two other apprentices, uh Panini, who's like head over heels in love with Chowder. She's cooking and she's the apprentice of this cooking humongous thick MILF called Endive, who's also Mungdal's rival. And then you have Ceviche, I think wait, no, that Ceviche is someone else. Fuck. Gargonzola. Yeah, Gargonzola is a candlestick holder apprentice for this one guy whose name I can never remember. But like it's just such a wacky fourth wall breaking show that is just so funny. Like this did fourth wall breaking before like Deadpool was cool. Like before Deadpool made it cool. It's so smart and it's so genius. Like this does SpongeBob better than like the first couple of seasons of SpongeBob in my opinion. This show is so fucking funny. I can quote this show for days on end. Like it's just that memorable. It's that funny. I love it so goddamn much. So, yeah, I guess Chowder is my favorite cartoon character.
All right.
And
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 then
then
what's the
and then the
part
second
two?
part is so then role play a scenario as your chosen character where they answer the
no.
next question.
Oh my
So
god.
if you were your character,
Okay.
what would your character say is their favorite cartoon character?
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh.
I think actually I
Oh
have
my
an answer
god.
for this.
Okay. Wait,
Okay,
hold on,
well,
Jules, did
you
you Oh
start
wait,
off the
yeah.
role play.
Yeah, so like say you're Gromit. What would you say is your favorite cartoon
Yeah,
character
so
as Gromit?
what what Wallace has done is giving me a lot of posters that are in my room that you can see on camera.
Mhm.
Films like The Dogfather and Citizen Canine and Pulp Fiction. So honestly, I'd have to say, Citizen Canine is Gromit's on my favorite cartoon.
Oh, so you went like super meta, where it's like
Yeah,
animated characters that like the Gromit would have seen in that. Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't think
so
that.
those are real things you can see in the Wallace and Gromit
I mean, I
cartoons,
didn't
like
think that
posters of
deeply about this question.
Citizen
So yeah,
Canine.
yeah, that's a smart one. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to get the Monarch's voice down. So you can go first if you want to.
I
If
wouldn't
you
know what
wanna.
fucking Chowder's favorite cartoon is, because the only
It'd be
time.
like a cooking show.
Yes, but oh man, but I would have to spoil a really great episode of Chowder. Luca, do you remember the episode where Chowder gets like super smart and they do like probably the most fourth wall breaky thing ever?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, but I would never say that as like as
I don't
Chowder
know
would.
if Jules is ever gonna watch this,
Oh
so you
no,
can just
Jules,
go
you
for it.
have to watch Chowder. It's so good. I
I will watch
promise.
it. I'll
Yeah.
add it to my list.
Okay. Um, I
I
guess
can
like
try
So,
go. Wait, I
okay.
just need. Okay. I'm the monarch. My favorite cartoon would be Johnny Quest, so I can study those pesky
Oh,
little
okay.
adventure. I don't know what the monarch's fucking favorite cartoon would be. He probably doesn't give enough of a shit about cartoons,
That's fair.
honestly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna try and do a voice because I'm not 8, but
Well, it's roleplay.
oh,
A part of the question
oh.
was roleplay your
well, in that sense,
character.
we wouldn't be able to hear Jules's answer because Gromit can't fucking talk. So,
Well, just do dog noises. Someone will be appeased.
I, you know what I've
Yeah, I've
always
done the
loved.
Wallace voice then.
You know what I've always loved about those.
Citizen Canine.
Oh my god. You know what I've always loved? I've always loved how like all those early Cartoon Network shows like kind of existed in the same universe because there were a lot of like ads where like the Cartoon Network characters would like interact with each other or whatever. Like they would like pretend to be on
Yeah.
set or whatever, or they would like, they would like sell a commercial together or something like that. And I can imagine like if these cartoons existed in the same universe, they could just technically say the other thing is their favorite like cartoon or whatever. So I can imagine
Yeah.
like I don't know, like
Chowder probably like Blackjack.
yeah, no, I was thinking that exact same thing because like there was this thing in that back in the day called Tharsdays where they had like specific like cartoons back to back like on a specific time period. So like first was Chowder, then Flapjack, then like Total Drama Island or some shit, and then like something else that I can't remember. It was so good, and I can imagine like either Flapjack would be his favorite cartoon character or
I
like
love Total Drama so much.
I was gonna mention
Sorry.
no,
Oh,
no, no,
yeah.
no. I'm glad you
Oh,
did
that's
because I was gonna
yeah.
mention like Chowder's favorite character could be like Owen or something from Total Drama Island
Yeah.
because they both have
Yeah.
like gigantic like appetites and stuff like that. And yeah, Total Drama Island. Wow,
Yeah.
that's like such a blast from the past.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, Jules, you've seen
I
it
love
because since
it.
that's also before your
Yeah,
time.
no,
Or
no, that it
fucking
was coming out at the perfect time for me.
oh, but you've seen the
Really?
really
Okay.
When did it come out?
it's like 2008 or
I
something,
think
right?
yeah,
The original
sometime around then.
series?
But maybe
2007.
you watched some
Okay, I
of
guess
the
it was like a
latest.
rerun.
Or did you see like
Oh,
the
I never liked the later seasons.
Well, I was gonna ask,
Well,
did you see the sequel, like the like Total Drama Action or Total Drama World Tour, like the ones they did after Island? Did you watch those?
I've seen the first three, but I haven't seen any of the other ones.
Okay.
okay, those ones are the best ones.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
The show sucks after that, so it's like it's not worth watching after that point
Yeah,
It's
anymore.
coming
it
back
doesn't
now.
suck. It doesn't suck.
Yeah,
Well,
it's coming back.
They
Yeah,
have
it
like
is coming back.
they have like a prequel spin-off or something called Total Drama Rama where it's like all the
Oh,
Total
No,
Drama
that's
Island
awful.
kids as like kids or whatever. It's so
No,
cringe.
no,
I
no.
hate that.
That one's awful. But
Did you
some of the sequel series, I guess, some of the later seasons of Total Drama, they're pretty good. There's one like that's like instead of being a parody of reality shows or like Survivor bullshit, it's a parody of what's the game show where people like race around the world?
Oh, The Amazing
Uh,
Race.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
Amazing Race. Yeah, it's a
That was the
parody of
third one,
that.
right?
And that
That was Total Drama World Tour or
no, no, no,
something.
no. That was World Tour, but there's a separate show under the Total Drama
Oh,
brand
wait, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah,
Ridiculous Rave,
yeah, that was
and
I
it's pretty
hated
good.
that.
It's pretty
Really?
good.
I did not like it
What?
at all.
No,
I
it's
did not
good.
like
I
it.
don't
Yeah.
remember that.
Nah, it's good.
Did
It's
you
good.
guys see a show called 16? It's made by the same people who made Total Drama Island.
No.
Nah.
Yeah, it's basically Friends, but with like teenagers. The premise is that like
Oh.
you have like teenagers who like hang out in a mall and they just do stuff, and they bring a lot of like the voice actors from Total Drama Island into the show. Like the guy who voices Chris
Nice.
like is like the skater pothead or whatever in 16, and the girl who voices Gwen is like this like athletic like varsity athlete or whatever in the show. You guys should watch 16. Like it's definitely dated for sure, but it's like but it has a lot of charm to it. It has a lot of like quality to it that like I just can't find in like normal sitcoms. I recommend you watch the show. I recommend you give it a shot. It's made by the same people who made Total Drama Island. So yeah. Wow, thank
Yeah,
you for
Chris McLean is kind of iconic.
Chris McLean is a literal god.
Also committed war
Yeah.
crimes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, committed manslaughter, committed secret serial killer, all that good stuff. It's like Dennis Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, we've been like really giving it
Yeah.
out all.
Yeah,
these
because we
questions.
love
Should we
Total
wrap
Drama
it up?
Island. Yeah, I mean, I have one more
Those
question
are
if you're
amazing.
if
Yeah.
you guys want. We don't have to, but we have one more question.
I'm
So
just
this
worried about Jules and like time.
Don't
but
worry, this one
if we can
won't.
answer it quickly.
Yeah, this one is from Robert.
Okay.
And he asks, "Is there any movie you have seen so many times that you can quote scenes of it from memory?" I have this one: How to Train Your
Fellowship of the
Dragon
Ring.
1, done.
Fellowship of the Ring.
Um,
I've seen that movie so many
Eternal
times that like
Sunshine.
if you show me if I just listen to the music, I can see like cuts
Oh
and the
yeah,
whole scene
that's
in
how
my
good
head.
the music is. It's like da da da, dun dun dun, and you know exactly which scene I'm talking about. So yeah.
Yeah, I can quote like whole scenes pretty much probably at this point.
Luca, you said Eternal Sunshine?
Yeah, I can quote a lot of the memorable lines from that film. Fantastic Mr. Fox as well.
Mm-hmm.
I
Man, you
can
guys.
quote like the first 15 minutes of Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh wow. Meanwhile, I just gave How to Train Your Dragon. I mean,
I can do a lot of the Raiders of the Lost Ark
it's
lines.
the one. It's the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess. I mean, you guys
If
mentioned
I
your.
tried, I could probably quote the whole movie of Mad Max Fury Road because there's not much dialogue.
Yeah,
in
there's
it.
not much to quote just in general. Just say "witness me" a bunch of times, and then you've got fucking got it. Yeah. Yeah.
What a lovely day.
I could probably quote A Clockwork Orange if I really wanted to.
Okay, what happens at 1 hour and 15 minutes?
What does? I don't know.
Actually, that's happened.
I could quote
Well, now you
the
can
gang
quote
fight in
anything.
Clockwork Orange, where it's like, never mind. It's been a long
No,
while since I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. Like we need to end.
Hi
this
there, my fellow
episode.
droogies. You know, I can quote that. Yeah.
Oh
So
my god.
yeah. So
Well, I can do the It's not a movie, but I can quote pretty much the whole of the Say My Name scene from Breaking Bad.
oh yeah. I mean, it's not that hard. So I can do the "Sell me this pen" from Wolf of Wall Street. Sell me
Yeah.
this pen. So yeah, I think we answered that question swiftly and
I can
efficiently.
quote, I
Okay.
can quote the final monologue and not monologue, final conversation in BoJack Horseman. I'm pretty sure.
Mm. Yeah, I haven't seen the show.
But yes,
I need to watch it. Yeah, so
you do.
is me only watching anime? Was that not clear at all? Like
That's a problem. We are
Yeah.
now giving you shows to try rid yourself of this problem.
that's not a problem if I enjoy it. I guess drug.
Give you
I
a
guess
list of like
I guess
Australian
drug users
TV
that
Problem
shows.
keep
when you
telling
aren't
themselves.
watching- when you aren't watching these pristine shows,
I mean, I still watch prestige shows. Like I've seen Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad's one of my favorite shows. You know, all that's good stuff. So
Seen Better Call
Alright.
Saul. though.
yeah, I loved the. I made a
Okay,
video about
cool.
the last season. It was
Oh,
so
yeah, you
fucking
did,
great.
you
Yeah,
did.
yeah. Anyway,
Alright.
that's it for questions. Jules, I think it's your turn for recommendation.
Yes.
What
God.
fucking Christmas
What
movie
is
is
this
supposedly
movie?
better than this? It better be Die Hard. I'll just say that. Like that's the only movie I can think of. So
It's
Nah, Die Hard Lamb.
it's a spin-off in a popular
I already hate
Oh,
this.
no.
franchise.
I already hate
I
this.
know what it is.
You know the Home
I
Alone
know what this
franchise?
is. Oh no.
No. Oh God, what is
It's a
this?
movie called Bone Alone. Also known as Alone for Christmas.
Oh my God. Fuck you. Well, at the same time, I deserve this. You said you were
This
gonna.
movie's actually
For a
funny.
minute, I thought it was gonna be that Home Alone like sequel that came out.
See,
this
when
year.
you said Bone
I'm not willing
Alone,
to sit through that.
when you
that
said
again.
Bone Alone, I was afraid. Oh God, did Jules recommend like a porno or something? And it's like, oh, thank
No,
God,
no.
'Cause that's where my mind went to the first, went to at first. Yeah. Wow, an
Yeah,
asylum
the whole
film.
film's available on YouTube.
Oh, thank God. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have paid money for this shit anyway, but still, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, wow. An asylum, our very first asylum movie. Yeah, thank you. I hope
Yes.
you're proud of that. So,
I hope it's the last.
yeah,
Will not be the
I don't even
last.
need to have seen the movie
Oh,
to know
God.
that this will be more entertaining than Southland Tales. Like, I don't even need to see the movie to
Someone who has seen it, it is very entertaining.
infinitely more entertaining than Southland Tales.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured as much. Okay, great. Yeah, if you don't want to be spoiled for
Bone
Alone, Bone Alone, or Alone for Christmas, whatever fucking title you want to call it, directed by Joseph J. Lawson. That sounds like a fake name, but whatever. 2013. Watch it because we're gonna spoil it in the next discussion.
Alrighty.
Oh God! So get hype for Bone Alone. Or Alone for Christmas. Just
Okay.
stick to one fucking title. Christ,
Can we
like
just call it Bone Alone?
yeah, let's just call it Bone Alone.
That's
Like we
funnier.
can't call it both
Yeah,
things.
why would you not? The poster has a dog eating a candy cane. Why would we not call it Bone Alone? Like,
Yeah.
I only
Well,
picked this because I have like the perfect review for it.
oh, okay. If you say so.
wow.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. Well, thank you, everyone. Get boned alone.
Yeah, get boned.
Thank you. Bye.